Baldur's Gate 3 on Stadia is finally here, and we played it for about 45 minutes or so. So let's get into it. The good, the bad, and is there any ugly? Well, let's see. Let's talk about it.
Not sorry. Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. Oh, I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with a very special video. We are breaking down Baldur's Gate 3. It is finally here, y'all. I'm excited. But before we get into this one, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know the reason. That y'all know the slogan. I am not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right. So as you can see on the screen, this is gameplay. This is footage of my gameplay of Baldur's Gate 3. What I did is I tested it out first on Twitch. I didn't do the crowd selection integration. I wasn't expecting a large crowd anyway. I just wanted to like get into my own confined space, check it out, try the game out, see what was going on, take it from there, come back with these impressions. So first and foremost, like I said, the good, the bad, and ugly, and all the other stuff. Let me just break it down to you. The good is that, well, then I'll do that last. I'll do that last, right? Let's stay on par, MM2K. I'm so excited. I'm jumping all over the place. Right here is where I'm trying to build my character. I will say that the character customization, even in early access, y'all, they made it sound like it was going to be kind of skimpy. It's not skimpy at all. This is better customization than you getting in your average RPG games. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I have yet to see this much depth, and I'm an RPG fanatic. I've yet to see this much depth and custom character customization, in an RPG game. So I'm building my character and all that good stuff. And let's see here. Let's see if I can fast forward to show y'all what I finally came up with, right? Let's get there. This is the character that y'all about to see that I finally came up with. So we just rolled through. I was looking for a character with some oomph to him, and you know what I'm saying, that has some magical ability. Then on top of that, this is what you see here. You pick the type of person you dream of, who attracts you. You know what I'm saying? That helps cater aspects of the game as well. That's crazy. I've never seen that before, right? So then once you do that, you get into the opening cinematics, right? All that good stuff. And then, you know, where it takes you, where you crash, you go crash, and then you're journeying within the game, and you're trying to progress. All right, so here's what I've noticed off the bat. It has a very nice system that allows you to like pan in and pan out visually. You know what I'm saying? So if you want a big aspect view, you know, and that's what I'm playing with right now, the aspect view. If you want a nice big aspect view, you could do that. If you don't want that, you don't have to do that. You could take the closer, like, you know, kind of over the shoulder view or whatever. Also, you can play this like, except for when you're in battle, you can play this like fluidly, like, you know, action based, or you can play it turn based. Like this toggle mode allows you to do that as well if you want to play this completely turn-based. So even out the gate, you get crazy options. This game is so in depth. Journeying and checking different things, you know what I mean? There's so much depth to that. You can destroy boxes. I mean, there's so much to this game. It blew my mind. I was kind of overwhelmed. And that's what I'm going to lead into when I break this thing down. But there's so much things that you can do in this game that it's mind-boggling as far as early access, just in the beginning parts. Now, I want to fast forward here because this is the part that kept stumping me. If I can get there. Okay, I think this is it. This is the part that kept stumping me. Is the part here where you're talking to the brain husk, right? There's different things, like the rolling of the dice really adds to the sense of urgency and the intense feeling that you have in the game, because it's not only about the selection that you make, but the selection that you make has to pan out in the favor that you wanted it to. So you not only got to make a selection, but you got to hope that the dice roll happens where you want it to happen, or the way that you want it to happen, so the outcome that you selected actually even is attempted. You know what I mean? And it adds to the sense of urgency, and it can be quite frustrating or quite elating depending upon what happens. Like, as you might see here, I think this is one of the roles where, okay, no, I got it that time. But man, I'm telling you, that beginning brain husk selection for my character, for some reason it was super challenging. And what I was trying to do was trying to get the husk to be subduant to me and roll with me, you know what I'm saying, as part of in my group. You know what I mean? There's a way to do that, and Sven of Larry and Stu there showed us how to do that. So I couldn't quite make it happen, but I'll try it later. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of the stream, I had to move on. But then you progress on, right? And then you meet your first party mate, right? You meet her. She's that was me trying to play around with some of the visual options and stuff like that, and it didn't look great. So I just left it there. Don't mess with the gamma, y'all. So then I got into a battle, and I was banging it out with these flying trolls or whatever. And that's where the game started to make a little bit more sense to me, as far as what you can do and what you can't do in the turn-based environment. The way that the battles work is you get so much movement. You can only move but so far, depending upon, I guess, attributes of your character. And you want to move, and depending upon your enemy, and depending upon the ways that you can attack and the spells that you cast, you might want to move closer. You might want to stay far away. Like, your companion is a ranged weapon specialist, but if you're using a controller, I highly urge that you practice pinpoint precision over the enemy, because it might look like that you can't do anything to that enemy from a ranged location. You gotta have pinpoint accuracy when hovering over, or you can hit the L1 and the R1 buttons to select the enemy that you want to attack if you got a ranged weapon. That kind of got a little, janky for me, and it was hard for me to notice. But once I got the mechanics of that, everything was cool, and I was able to attack, and we successfully won. The game is tough, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. The game is tough. Every single hit counts, every movement counts, you know what I'm saying? And again, it adds to the sense of urgency. This is nothing to sleep on. You gotta critically think here. This ain't no joke. You gotta critically think here, but it's all fun. So, the good, the bad, is there any ugly? Okay, well, the good is definitely, we'll start with the bad. The bad is, I definitely do not like that there's not a tutorial at the beginning. I say this during the stream that it's becoming too apparent that when you're playing games, and even in early access, that's no excuse, that they just let you figure it out. I don't like that. I like to be able to know what I'm doing. I don't want to be wasting my time just trying to figure out the basics. So a basic tutorial, okay, you're about to fight. Here goes some things that you can do. All right, that flying thing right there. Press this button, just the first few enemies, it ain't gonna change the world. Guide me through it, and then after you guide me through the first few enemies, then I'm on my own. That's not too hard to ask. Another thing that is kind of complicated to understand is the dialogue rolls at first, but again, that is all lumped in with the lack of no tutorial, but you catch onto that quicker. Is there any ugly? No, there is no ugly. I will say that the 4K mode ain't 4K. This is not 60 frames per second either. Unlike other games though, again, because this is a turn-based game, 60 frames per second isn't paramount. So I'm not worried about that right now. What I'm worried about in a game like this is, how do I control it? What do I do? And after some finagling with the game or some playing, now I get the basic mechanics. Another thing that they said that the control scheme would be limited. And here's what I think they meant. It's not that it's limited, it's just not precise all the time, like when selecting the enemies and selecting the places you want to go. It's not the most precise. So if you are in front of a keyboard and mouse, you might want to use that for precision at first, but it's not hard to understand. What I do is, if I'm attacking an enemy, I just basically move the cursor or using the controller close to the enemy, and I use L1 or R1 to select to accurately select the enemy that I want to attack, and then move from there. So all in all, a fantastic experience. I'm at the tippy top beginning. I haven't even began to venture out, but from what I could experience, once I understood what is going on, I can say this is going to be an experience to enjoy. Now the question is, for those that are itching to play this game, should you buy it? I will say this. I didn't run into too many bugs. I mean, one bug that kicked me out of the game, but I, got right back in. This for early access, from what I played so far, is solid. It's very solid. Now it's $60. I know that's steep for early access price, but if you're into these type of games, to these turn-based type of games, RPGs, this is not like an action game. This is a turn-based game. If you are into a turn-based game like a Final Fantasy, something like that, it's definitely worth the $60. This is a solid game, and I had a lot of fun just with the limited time that I had. So that's it, people. That's it from your boy Mim2K. A buy. I highly recommend it if you are into turn-based games. This is not an action game, whether it's early access or not. You got to understand what type of genre this is. And with that said, that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. And with that said, you all continue to enjoy and play Baldur's Gate. You all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.